4 years ago, there was Tonight, Franz Ferdinand. Only now, there's the follow-up to that record. It took them a long time. They're here. We saw them last year at the Great Wide Open. Now they're back with the record. Welcome, Alex Kapranos and bassist Bob Hardy. 4 years since the record. That's long for you, right?
It's such a long time. What were we doing all that time?
Well, do you really want to know?
I do. Why did it take you?
The record came out. Our last album came out about 4 years ago. We spent about 2 years touring it, and then we had about nearly 12 months kind of doing our own thing and enjoying being alive. And then we got back together again and started writing songs, talking about writing songs, and then writing songs, and then recorded the record. And then here we are today in Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm. There's a song on this record called Fresh Strawberries, in which you talk about being like fresh strawberries and, well, being rotten and soon forgotten. I hope that wasn't about you as a band.
No, it's about us as that's what we all are, aren't we? We're like a fresh strawberry, and we're our tastiest and we're juicy. A fresh strawberry is tastiest and juiciest, and that has that bright, vivid redness at the point where it's about to turn rotten, and
Then it's at its best. You cannot keep
that's
it
what
there,
I think.
right?
Yes, but it's a moment, and it's going to be gone. It's the same for all of us. We're all going to be rotten. We're all going to be forgotten at some point. For some of us, it might take 50 years to be forgotten. Some of us, it might take no time at all. It might take 500 years. I don't know. But we all will be forgotten at some point. And once you realize that, then you realize how good the moment of ripeness is. What's the point of leaving the strawberry in the bowl? You should eat it and enjoy it.
Is it a goal for you to make pop songs that feel as fresh as the strawberry at its best?
Oh, good idea. Yeah, of course. I eat a fresh strawberry. What a great sensation it is.
Well, the process of making anything is similar to that as well, because it's almost, it gets good and then you work on it too much and it's bad, and you work on it not enough and it's not quite right. So it is very similar, I guess.
That's true.
There's a couple of interesting lyrics in this record. They're very thought-provoking. They're almost statements. They may be your own opinions, they may be someone else's, maybe persons in the songs. I have a couple of them. I want to know what you mean by them.
Okay.
The first one is an interesting one at the finishing of this pop record, and it's called "I Hate Pop Music."
It's in context, Like I don't hate pop music because I make pop music.
You probably do.
Yeah. I love good pop music, and by pop music I mean Nirvana or the Ramones or
anything.
Or KLF or whatever. That's good pop music. I'm talking about somebody disappearing into that hole at the end of their lives and having all those faces peering down, waving goodbye. And I'm thinking, in that situation, I hate pop music.
But the definition of pop music, what is it to you?
Pop music to me is about immediacy. I know pop music means officially popular music, but it's for me personally. What makes pop music is music which gives me an immediate response, and so pop music like say "Love Me Do" or "I Want to Hold Your Hand" by the Beatles is the greatest piece of pop music, but it's no longer pop music. It's no longer popular. It's not in the charts. It was once popular, but it still has the effect of pure pop music.
It's still at the core of your definition of
Yeah. It has and I'd say the Ramones are pure pop music as well, because it's instant. But I would also say that a band like Talking Heads plays pop music as well, because even though there might be sort of like more thought behind the music and the delivery or whatever, there is still an immediacy to it. Like a song like "Born Under Punches" sounds like a pop song to me.
You still believe in the classic format of a 3.5-minute pop song, which was formed by radio long ago.
Yeah.
It still feels like the ultimate format for a pop song.
Yeah, it's funny. It kind of came about, didn't it, because of the limitations of vinyl originally. That you could get a strong sounding song. It had to be a certain length, otherwise you couldn't fit it onto a 7-inch single. But I think the great Wesley Willis said that the most powerful pop song had to be 2 minutes 56 long. Is that right? And so, like, even 3.5 minutes is probably too long. Well, according to Wesley Willis, and he knew.
But the interesting thing is the formats change. We can make hour-long albums now, but the album format, it still exists. People say we live in the iTunes age. People are shuffling everything.
Yeah.
Every artist you meet still wants to make an album.
Yeah.
13, 14 songs long.
Yeah.
10 hours.
10 in yours.
I never use shuffle really. My brain hurts. My brain. I have to listen to things from the beginning to end. Well, not I don't have to end them, but when I'm listening to an album, I'd like to start at the beginning and go through it. It's just.
Yeah, I can't stand shuffle. I really, really can't stand it. I like a compilation. I like it when a friend will make what used to be a compilation tape and is now a playlist. That's great, because then you're putting an arc together, the structure, and you're relating one song to another, or trying to create an overall mood to a collection of music. And that's what we do when we put an album together. We're saying, because these aren't the only songs that we've been recording over the last couple of years. We've recorded many more. But we said, these 10 together in this order makes for a very powerful collection of music. And that's what I like. Yeah.
I want to go to the next one. This is a fascinating one. I'm in love with a narcissist. I know, for the mirror told me. Is he a narcissist?
I thought that's a mirror.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a character that he was writing about. But I think everyone who's in a band.
That's kind of you, Bob. Thank
I think
you.
everyone who's in a band has to be a narcissist to some extent, because you've got to go on stage and say, "Hey, look at me!" He's basically showing off, And there's nothing worse than like when you see bands who shuffle on as if they're like mock humble about being there, like, just it's a lie. Why do you wake up in the morning and say, like, I want to write, I want to be in a band so I can go on stage? You must have a little bit of it takes a bit of narcissism.
There's quite a lot of degrees of narcissism in bands, right? You're not the kind of foot on a monitor. And
I put my foot on a monitor almost every gig.
You do?
You've seen me do that.
He does. He loves it.
When you're soloing as well.
Well, I don't really solo, but I don't really know how. But that's the next thing to learn, isn't it? But I
now you know how to play the bass.
Putting my foot on the monitor.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
Are you doing that in an ironic way, or are you doing it because you enjoy it?
Have you seen it?
You see him do it, and you think, "Are you doing this in a?"
No, I'm not. I see him do it. I think, "Fuck hell, Bob's loving this gig. This is good."
I love putting my foot on the monitor.
Yeah.
It's not like a big act, is it? Just raising your foot.
Yeah,
it's actually quite comfortable.
But you don't go like the same.
I don't put my tongue out.
Yeah.
But are you a narcissist?
Everyone's a narcissist, or some
such
dodging of the answer.
It's a dodgy answer.
Yeah. I'm dodging the answer. Yeah.
So what if you look in the mirror? What do you see?
I try to look in the mirror as little as possible. Actually, it's a dangerous occupation. Wouldn't you say?
Why is it a dangerous occupation?
I leave that for an earlier part of my life. To become too self-aware is dangerous. Like, even when we were making this record, I wanted to be as unself-aware as possible, as unself-conscious as possible. Didn't want to do interviews, didn't want to speak to anybody about how we were doing it or why we were doing it. I just wanted to do it, and I feel the same about a mirror as well. Like, I'll quickly glance in a mirror to make sure I don't look like an idiot, but not spend any more time.
That's enough.
Yeah, overanalyzing it. Because when you do spend too much time, then you do turn into a narcissist.
I have a next one for you here.
Okay.
I believe there's nothing to believe in. That's a statement about the world, right?
That's a paradox, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's a pair of trainers, actually.
Somewhere else on the record you sing, I don't believe in God.
The actual lyric. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I believe in this shit, yeah. Yes. I mean, it's a theme that comes up regularly in the record, that we all, no matter how much your logical brain, your intellectual skepticism would love to reject all belief systems, there's still a spiritual urge within you which is desperate for them.
Mm-hmm. So, which is the spiritual thing is in that Evil Eye song.
That's more about superstition.
Superstition.
Which I guess is connected to your spiritual
voodoo kind of
Yeah.
Do you really believe in that?
Unfortunately, I'm so embarrassed to say yes. I do. I wish I could reject. I mean, I think the spiritual urge is a good one. I think the superstitious urge, which I find myself having, is a ridiculous one. It's
You laugh at
completely
yourself
ridiculous.
when it happens. Still, it happens.
I wish I could. I wish I could still laugh at myself. It's just too ridiculous.
So when does it really
I
happen?
do find it happening. But like when you run up two steps at a time, and if you land on an even step, the rest of the day is completely cursed. Terrible. Just ruins everything, and you find yourself, wishing that wasn't the situation. But
Are there
it's
really
the
things
way
you
it
do,
is.
for instance, when you step on stage?
No, not really, because then if you
don't
forget
put
to
that
do
in my
them,
head.
if
Don't
you
put
forget
that
to
in
do
my head,
them, then it will ruin your gig. So
Yeah.
you always
I
avoid
did
it.
have one at one point, which was I came dependent on bananas. Like if I had to have a banana before I went on stage, because I'd read somewhere about the type of energy released from a banana and the potassium in it, and it would get you through a long period of exercise. And so in my head, I got myself to the situation. It's kind of like superstition, but it's just ritual. And that's what most superstition is, it's ritual. And I'd said to myself, if I have a banana before I go on stage, it'll be fine. And then one gig, our drummer's ex-wife ate the banana, and I fucking freaked out. It was terrible.
That's just rituals. That's not really too
No,
serious. But if you-
ritual
if
and
you're talking
superstition
about
are connected, though.
the way you're singing about it in Fresh Strawberries, it's more than that. It's
Yeah,
more
yeah,
like,
sure,
What
yeah.
do you stand for? What is really important in life? What is actually driving you?
What's driving me
That's-
just now?
That's what that song is about.
Well,
right?
yeah. I wish I had the answers. Like I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know what I need. That's the last line of the song.
Wouldn't
Like,
it be easy to
believe
have something to believe?
they could give us more
Have
than.
you ever
yeah.
believed in something, like in God or anything like that? Were you raised a Catholic, for instance?
No, I wasn't raised a Catholic. Yes, I have been through periods of belief systems and different ones, and
Which one made the biggest impact on you?
I'd rather not dwell on them. Just I just acknowledge that they were there.
They were there.
Yeah.
They were part of your life. You
Yeah.
accept
And
them.
different ones at different times, and like you find them in different places. You find them in religion. You find them in politics. You find them in philosophy. You even find it in the music that you listen to sometimes as well. Or you find it in people around about you.
Final one. It's a very final one because the last sentence of the record is, "This really is the end." You wouldn't be the first band to secretly end a career like that.
Who was
Like
Oh, who's the other one?
afterwards, looking back and
The
thinking,
Beatles.
hey, there was a message in there.
All right. Is that the
Oh,
Beatles
that's
you're
not
talking
right.
about? Are you talking about the Beatles?
I'm not talking about the Beatles, but
Who are you talking about? I'm curious.
there was an REM song in which messages were that this was really the end.
Uh-huh.
This is not your end, right?
No,
Still fresh as strawberries.
it's the end of the song. But I actually really like the Beatles song, "The End," and it was deliberately written to be the end and to sum up their characters, and they all took it in turns to play solos in the song to represent their characters. Yeah, that was good. But no, it's not the end of the song. No, it's not the end of the band. It's the end of the song and the end of the album and the end of the character in that song, but not the end. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's the end of the band. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know when the end's coming. No, none of us know when our ends are coming. Well, some of us do, but
The song is about the end. It's maybe the most sinister song you've ever written.
I don't think it's sinister. I think it's a very positive song. It's only when you face your mortality, you can enjoy life. When you face your vulnerability, then you become strong.
Where does the song come from?
I don't know. I know what triggered it. I read a story about. I read a newspaper article that was talking about French politics. And it was talking about Francois Mitterrand's funeral and how his colleagues were there, heads of state were there, his close family, his wife and his mistresses were all together at this one place, peering into the hole as the coffin disappeared. And I thought that's a marvelous moment in life. As life finishes, you draw together all these people into one place that wouldn't have ever met together when you were still around. What a great point to address them from.
I'd say this is just a new start for you guys, at least for the next 2 years of touring. And after that, we'll see. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers, man.
Thanks.
Alex,
Cheers.
thanks.